Hi, my name is Connie Cameron, and I am a registered nurse and also a person that lives with Crohn's disease. So I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 8 years old, which is about 28 years ago. So have lived most of my life with Crohn's, and have also experienced multiple surgeries. So both to remove parts of my small intestine and a major surgery when I was 16, which removed all of my large intestine as well. So given that, I also live with an ostomy, which is a small pouch that allows my small bowel to kind of come out of my abdomen, which was a central part to actually increasing my quality of life as a teenager, and has sustained that quality of life for me now as an adult growing up. More recently, I have had also a small surgery to continue due to recurrent flares of my Crohn's disease. Um, but continue to do well with lots of exercise, diet, and thanks to a lot of the advances in medication and treatments that have come over the years since I was diagnosed. Challenges can be a little bit hard to convey sometimes. They're larger things like having to plan when I'm leaving the house or going away to know that I'll have lots of access to the washroom, easy access if I do need to change my medical appliance, so my ostomy pouch in particular. So those are larger things day to day that, to be honest, you don't necessarily think of when you've had Crohn's as long as I have, but when you do step back, you realize are a little bit different than the challenges that other folks face in their day to day. The other are some of those symptoms that maybe aren't as visible or what you might think of as obviously being related to Crohn's, like joint pain, lethargy, so feeling tired, those types of things that can persist as well. And not just with a flare up, but in kind of every day. So with weather changes, with stress, with those types of things, you can get pain. For me, it's in my fingers and my toes, which can impact how I'm feeling generally, make me feel tired, but also impact my ability to do some of the daily exercises and activities that I would love to be able to do as well. So having lived with Crohn's again for most of my life, I think the greatest strengths or positives that have come out of it has been both my interest in healthcare actually. So my interest in becoming a registered nurse is directly related to the care that I received as a child and have continued to receive, and my interest in giving back to the medical community and improving experience for patients just like me. The other are some of those day-to-day skills, I think. So when you grow up with a chronic illness, you do learn, I think, unique skills related to things like stress management and resilience. So how to bounce back and how to make sure that you're kind of living each day to its fullest and moving forward with gratitude to kind of exactly that bounce back and live the most out of every day. Fundraising is critical to help us not just figure out some of the triggers or causes of Crohn's and other forms of inflammatory bowel disease, but also important to help us understand the daily lives of folks like me that do live with Crohn's, the impact on our lives, and how we can improve that as well. Um, for me specifically, over the years, I've seen the treatment options change drastically and advance quite significantly to the point where I am now able to reduce things like my joint pain and have a better kind of day-to-day life than I might not have otherwise had if we didn't make those advances in some of the medications that are available to us. Um, there are lots of other important developments related to also supporting the mental health of folks that not just with chronic illness, but with Crohn's and other forms of inflammatory bowel disease that were previously underexplored and are so important to continue to explore as part of the research that is funded by dollars that come out of walks like this. So speaking out and sharing our experiences is so important. We know that 1 in 140 folks do have experiences with inflammatory bowel disease, but it's largely invisible. So it's hard to see that impact in our day to day. When I'm at work, when I'm with my friends, some of them might not even know that these are my experiences and this is what I'm living with. Similarly, I do have a medical appliance, an ostomy, but again, it's underneath my clothes and not something that you would see. So being largely invisible, it's so important to bring awareness, not just to those that are around us so they can empathize and support us, but to the general public so that we can show folks what it is like to live with this, but also that there is hope when we do this work together to improve the lives of patients like me and patients like others that are coping with this day to day. Together as one, we walk to stop Crohn's and colitis.